On Florida, as our sister state's going through something pretty rough right now.
Landfall this morning, Jen, now making its way across land.
That's exactly right. And the good news right now is that Hurricane Idalia continues to weaken at this time. At that 9 a.m. advisory, the sustained winds were still 105 miles per hour. It was holding on to that Category 2 strength, but it's now weakened by those 15 mile per hour sustained winds. So at 96, that's when it gets up to that Cat 2. So now we're in that Category 1. And so those wind gusts still at 115 miles per hour. This latest advisory, it is picking up traction and picking up speed. So that's good news. The quicker you can get the storm in and out, the better. And so right now moving north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. That center low located just 15 miles south-southeast of Valdosta, Georgia. So Valdosta, Thomasville, really starting to see some of those impacts from the storm as it continues to push through. And with Hurricane Idalia, we're still expecting it to potentially keep that Category 1 hurricane strength as it continues to move just along the coast there for Georgia, South Carolina, even clipping North Carolina, but it will still see those impacts brought up to Virginia. And then even heading into next week, we get closer towards Monday, your Labor Day, still holding on to that tropical storm strength. Just a reminder, Bermuda is also seeing the impacts of Hurricane Franklin at this time, mainly some of those tropical storm impacts as it is continuing just to stay further towards the west, but they're about to get it again from Idalia if it does continue that tropical storm strength into the Atlantic heading into next week. Here's a look at what it looks like on radar. Again, really starting to see those impacts almost over all the entirety state of Georgia there. Florida beginning to see some of that relief as it pushes away. Take a look at the Alabama state line, just barely missing some of those rain chances there. And our impacts mainly going to be for rip current risk, but also we are just starting to see some of that cloud cover out here. Winds mainly out of the north at this time. And then taking a look at water vapor. All of that moisture staying away from us. Dry air instead being pushed into place just in the wake of Idalia. So if you stepped outside earlier this morning, it felt a little bit better out there, and that's because we have more of this dry air beginning to pool in. However, it's not expected to stay that way. Some slight rain chances in the forecast for your Wednesday, and also some more heat on the way as well. Coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, what you can expect heading into the holiday weekend, plus also keeping our eyes on additional areas in the tropics. All that's coming up soon. Joe.
Attention to the segment.
I was going to say I love chicken salad chicken, but also with every meal that you get, you do get one of those little cookies.
Yeah,
with it.
the little one.
Yeah, so I mean, go check it out today. And today may be a good day if you're going to have an early lunch, maybe sit outside just briefly, just because it is feeling a little bit better out there. We're starting to see more of that dry air beginning to pull in. And here is a look at what we see of Hurricane Idalia. Right now, that Category 1 hurricane beginning to move into Georgia. We're starting to see more of that relief being brought up into Florida. However, no relief in form of the storm surge. It's still sucking in some of that surf just in its wake. So although the rain is beginning to quiet down, the wind is beginning to calm down, they're still going to be starting to see some of that pull just of that Gulf moisture beginning to lift up. Now, locally closer towards home, things are quiet for us. We're really not seeing any impacts from it besides down at our local beaches and a little bit of cloud cover beginning to push in. Here's a look really what that cloud cover is looking like. Here's some of those outer rain bands really not even moving past the state line there in Alabama. While Idalia continues to push away, what we're left behind with is going to be some sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, and also some coastal showers possible heading later on into today. We'll mainly start to see some of those closer towards the Florida Panhandle, but other than that, staying pretty calm and quiet heading into the remainder of our Wednesday. Now, I mentioned some of that dry air. This blue coloration right there, that's going to be some of that moisture. However, for us, that brown coloration left behind, this is dry air pushing into place. So this is really what's being brought in. It's what made it feel better out there in case you stepped outside early this morning. I know that I was walking in, I actually noticed it, and wow, it feels nice outside. It feels like I've been a while since I was able to say that. And also what we're going to start to see that reflecting is in our 10-hour feels like temperatures. Really, we're just going to be feeling like we're in the 90s by the time we make it further on into the rest of today. So feeling like the mid to upper 90s and temperatures maxing out in the lower to mid 90s. So feeling a lot better even by this evening, feeling like the upper 80s by 8 o'clock. And I had mentioned the rip current risks. High today, high tomorrow.
dropping down to moderate by Friday. Today's surf height around 5 to 7 feet. Gulf waters completely closed. Better conditions to hang out at the pool heading into today, but just make sure that you're being cautious regardless. In case you are heading down towards the beach, stay out of the Gulf waters, but still always know what beach you're located on and where the closest lifeguard stand is. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, what you can expect for the next few days, and also the holiday weekend. All that's coming up soon. Joe.